Hello and welcome back to the SBA Showcase. We are now moving very swiftly into the finale, and I am very, very excited to be casting this set.
I can hear it. I can hear that you're really excited. Why is that?
I love Phantom Sharks. I've interacted with most of the people on that team. They are absolutely incredible. And then there's also Waffle Cat, who's the team manager for Phantom Sharks. And I DM'd him before, being like, "Your team better fucking win." Oh, my bad. My apologies. My bad. my apologies. That their team better win, because I've been rooting for Waffle Cat. I think his team deserves to win.
Well, the voices in my head are saying no biases here, so I will have to report this to our manager afterwards.
Oh man.
Not quite sure. Listen. If you like Phantom Sharks so much, I like Chip. All right, but let's look into the Phantom Sharks weapon pools. I think you should probably talk about it more than I should, because you know these people way more than I do.
I pinky promise. I pinky promise. Voices in my head. I'm trying my best. I am very. I apologize. My apologies. And we are going to be moving on into looking at the rosters for Phantom Sharks. I feel like Inkbrush is a very interesting weapon to be pulling out. I think a lot of these weapons you typically expect, and there's a decav we might be seeing, which hopefully means we get more decav fights.
Some potential dental duels again might be plaguing us. Also, I see the Tetras there that I'm very excited. I used to play with a Tetris player, shout out Not Curb, for a very long time. But let's go into the weapons of Chip and Dip, as we see much of the same things that we saw last time, because they were here last time, and we're pretty familiar with how they've played. We're pretty familiar with their weapon pool, but important to highlight that Star Melon has been playing the decav mostly, and that we have seen the bamboos quite frequently from Synapse.
Yeah. My apologies. I got a little bit carried away. I'm trying my very best not to get fired by totally not real bias, which I unintentionally showed myself to.
Well, let's not worry about the bias here. We have map 1 of the best of 5 winners finals here. Well, I guess the top cut finals, I should say. It's zones on Umami Ruins, and we see
God.
The Bucket Gang in full effect here, ladies and gentlemen. Much of the same from Chip that we saw last game, but 3 buckets.
Bucket and Stamper. That is very interesting to be seeing.
Yeah, certainly so. Very interesting. Let's see if it pays off for them. We see an early push on Spine from the decav that we saw hit that clip last match, and they're wrapping around to the other side, and just like that, 3 down on the side of the Phantom Sharks. Maybe the Buckets, maybe an ill-advised pick, maybe need to take some time to see it work out. What do you think?
I feel like this has been a very fast-paced game already, but now these buckets might be able to get into control, almost like a small little bucket crusade with that sword to be their knife.
Yeah, exactly. A little bit of a crusade going on. They are able to take zone. Let's see if they're able to capitalize off taking zone. They already down 1. The other side is also down 1, so... But unfortunately, they are letting up a lot of space here. The Inkjet is able to get a lot of pressure, and just like that, the Phantom Sharks are down to their last member, and that is going to be probably zone. Unless the Sword has anything to say about it, they are able to inflict the penalty, but they're still fighting in the zones, potentially still being able to hold on to it. They're fighting the right zone with everything they have. And on Spine, there is another fight going on. They are able to reverse Chip, and no hold for the Chip and Dip side. The Phantom Sharks come back, and they're seeking revenge.
This is absolutely incredible. We've seen some very close back and forth going on with both Chip and Dip and Phantom Sharks. This is very, very, very interesting to see, as we see Phantom Sharks are able to maintain the zones and are able to take the lead off of Chip and Dip.
Yeah, able to take the lead. Phantom Sharks now looking to extend with the Booyah Bomb. Curious to see if they push off and elect not to. Stay back, trying to play the range of the Explosher and potentially the V-Slosher, but they are taking up a lot of space, and all of a sudden, the chip and dip side is going through, able to trade themselves out, and 3 down now for Phantom Sharks. That's probably going to be the 4th. Then that's the case. It is a wipe for Chip and Dip, and the Phantom Sharks are now looking to retake.
This is very, very interesting. I feel like Phantom Shark's comp here is very not something you'd see every day. It's one of those compositions you would never expect to see come into competitive, in finals to be exact. But here we are watching Chip and Dip and Phantom Sharks fight it out, with Chip and Dip still able to take that zone. Will Phantom Sharks be able to take it back? We will see.
Yeah, they're starting to take that right zone here. There's a 2v1 going on the right, able to find the first kill. Chip and Dip also is able to get their own hit one on the left zone, and that is going to be the zone's cap. They're going to look to extend here potentially, but they're looking for one more, I think. They're trying to find them, but there's nobody there. They should really focus on ramp now, and that's what they do, turning their attention to it. The Decav now starting to fight right zone. Are they going to find someone? No, elect to stay near block, waiting for their jet potentially. Able to find one is the Decav. They're able to get the shield down, and this is probably going to be an attack on the left zone. 2 down, 3 down now on the side of Phantom Sharks. The Sodas are kind of helping them get up. I think that's not Soda, excuse me, but they are respawning quickly, but unfortunately not in time. Chip and Dip are able to take both zones.
But Phantom Sharks do indeed have tri-strikes that they will probably try to use to retake these zones. But now we see Killer Well coming out from Synapse with Bamboo. A very nice pick coming out with that Bamboo as well. And we see they still have those strikes in their roster, but they will have to use them quick, especially if they want to maintain that lead, which we will see Phantom Sharks are trying to do with 2 members down on the side of Chip and Dip. Will that be 3? It will be 3, with the last member jumping out. Phantom Sharks are able to maintain that lead and put a penalty back on Chip and Dip. And the Bamboo getting 2? Are they able to make that 3? We will see.
Bamboo is trying to find more here. He's not able to find more. The team catches up. Chip and Dip are able to take both zones. Now it's curious to see, are they able to push more into the other team's spawn? That's what they have been trying to do, but it's not going to happen. Phantom Sharks immediately retakes and gets a immediate wipe. And look at that aggression we're seeing now. A lot more confidence, but then whacking off a little bit, potentially trying to play more to the range of their Explosher. Curious to see what they're going to try to do. The Pro dropping down on their own, trying to find a kill, but gets striked out, and that's going to be them potentially gone. And that is true, confirmed by the Sword player through a 2v3, a 3v3 now, a little Tripnacity reference, potentially on zone. Trying to find the zone is Chip. They're not able to find it. They're switching zones back and forth, left, right, not able to cap both at the same time. And the wipe is there for Phantom Sharks. That's going to do it for Game 1. Phantom Sharks, despite the 0-3 showing earlier in the tournament against Chip and Dip, finds Game 1.
That is absolutely incredible, especially coming with such an interesting composition from the side of Phantom Sharks. It's not one you would typically expect coming out.
Yeah, very unusual composition for the Sharks. Potentially maybe something different than what they showed Chip and Dip earlier in the tournament. 1-0 now to the Phantom Sharks as they take map 1, and we take our sights away from zones and onto Clam Blitz on Museum d'Alfonsino. What are your thoughts on Clams and how maybe the weapon picks might shape out?
Museum. Do I have a lot to say about Museum? I love Museum. I feel like it's a very interesting map, and I feel like Chip and Dip have such an interesting composition. That Bamboo and that Ballpoint, it's not a typical combination you'd seen put together, but it has worked absolutely incredibly well these past few sets. It's interesting to see if they would change their backline, because we've seen Kaya go to that pencil for one game that we saw during semis. Is very interesting. As we've also seen on their roster, they have had Lita. There is a chance that they may go to that as well.
I'll always say when there's a leader, a little samurai reference to that SWS run. Sorry, I've watched too many clips from that run. Very much was enjoyable. But I will say, if I have to play against the leader, it's not very enjoyable. But yeah, curious to see the weapon switches. Curious to see if the triple bucket stays in effect. With a lot of the elevation on Museum, I would not be surprised if they keep with the triple bucket. But Yeah, curious to see how things shape up. Clams Museum is always an interesting mode, very much tricky, very wide map, but I always say illusion of choice. Very wide, but most teams elect to take the diagonal and not flow, and maybe every once in a while take the drop. So, wide map, mostly a streamlined game, I'm going to assume, but we'll see. Maybe they come up with something different.
We will see indeed. I think I feel like the samurai run, as you mentioned before, it has definitely changed people's viewpoints on different weapons. It's definitely shifted the meta quite a bit. I'd love to see some Elita gameplay. We saw some during Swiss, I believe. I do not remember which team exactly, but I do definitely remember an Elita coming out. I'd love to see more Charger gameplay coming from the FBA showcase.
Exactly, and as we say goodbye to the lobby and say hello to Museum, let's get a little bit smarter here, folks, and play some Museum DL Foncino. The same triple bucket comp on the side of the Phantom Sharks, and much of the same for the chip and dip comp, but we do see the Dapples come out, I believe, is different.
Yeah, this is very interesting. They've stuck to the same comp, but I can partially see why. I feel like Chip and Dip definitely have a little bit more of an advantage here, as this is a very paint heavy map, but at the same time you also have those buckets that are able to paint in for the Stamper. As the Stamper is already able to get a pick on the T-cap, but goes down to a bomb, and now 2 members are down on the side of Phantom Sharks. We don't know how this will play out, but a very nice pick coming from the Ink.
Yeah, it seems that Chip and Dip a little bit angry. Finding a second kill is the Jet. They're trying to impose their will early, gets a 3rd kill, and all of a sudden, and there's a decaf also on the basket, gets another double, but isn't going to find the 3rd, not able to find it, but they have pressure on Plat. All of a sudden, they're on the back foot, Phantom Sharks. They have to find a way back onto their ramp and fight for their ramp again. They're wrapping around the long side of Spinner, trying to find the power clam. They fall back, though, and they're going to regroup, but unable to save the power clam, and Chip and Dip are going to reset here.
A very, very nice push prevention from Phantom Sharks, as we see Chip and Dip try and take that box to get onto their ramp and closer to their basket. It's still very much fair game. We are not that far into this game. Anything can happen. And the decav sharking behind us, able to get a pick. Are they able to get a second? We will see.
The second confirmed by the Inkjet. 2 down on the side of the Phantom Sharks. Are they going to be able to convert this? The decav gets 1. Is he going to find the second? Maybe they get the score. Still looking for the second kill. Finds it finally, but unfortunately, that is going to be the end of the Chip and Dip push, as all members are down on Plat and now going to start retaking mid.
This is very interesting. We also see that tactical coming out from the side of Phantom Sharks. Anything can happen, but a very nice pick comes out, and 2 members of Phantom Sharks go down. And I believe that decav went down to the rain.
Maybe so. We're not quite sure on that one, but currently the Explosure trying to take a more of aggressive angle, but unable to find it. The Pink Jet punishes it and makes them kind of sort of push back a little bit onto their plant, looking a little bit uncomfortable now as the Phantom Sharks. And the decav looking for another clip. They're trying to get on bluesky.com now. Are they going to be able to find that clip? They are not able to find them. Finds all 4 members, unfortunately. Can't isolate the fight, and ramp is retaken by the Phantom Sharks.
And 2 members go down on the side of Chip and Dip, and we see the Sodas come out once again. Hopefully Phantom Sharks will be able to retake mid and start making their own push. But Chip and Dip have a very, very tight hold on their ramp with that ballpoint. But with the Booyah coming out, they are able to get control of the ramp, get that second pick. Will they be able to get more? That is the question, as we see the Inkjet come out, really starting to try and defend that basket. And another pick from Phantom Sharks, and 3 members down on the side of Chip and Dip. Will it be 4? Yes, and that is a wipe. And Phantom Sharks are finally able to get that. Oh, never mind.
It's the throw. Oh, but they're able to recover.
Wow. Incredible. That solo getting 2 clams in and taking the lead with Chip and Dip Phantom Sharks is absolutely incredible.
Yeah, good push there. Able to get the lead here. I wonder, do you stay defensive or do you get offensive? That's only time will tell as we see the Tri-Slosher getting overwhelmed on drop. And wow, that Inkjet that we've seen be so impressive throughout this tournament is pushing them back. And all of a sudden, they're trying to take ramp, but they die ramp, unfortunately, despite the shield. And Yuri using the power of Yuri to kill everything. And just like that, that's a wipe, or a delayed wipe, I should say.
And all numbers down on Chip and Dip. Now, all really Phantom Sharks need to do is get more clams and push in. They are very close to the wall, and they are able to get that. Their Steaker very weak, sharking, and trying to wait for the perfect time to get the takeoff right by their ramp. But Phantom Sharks are just staying behind and allowing them to retake that space, which is quite an interesting choice. And now Chip and Dip are able to slightly push up with the amount of paint they have, and we see an Inkjet come out from the side of Chip and Dip as well.
Yeah, the time is ticking, though. Phantom Sharks will get another push off, but I'm curious to see if they'll extend their lead. Most likely just trying to burn more clock, but I don't see a lot of pressure on the sword. They're able to trade, but let's focus more on the defense here, as that's what's going to be crucial. They're going to get the Pity Clam, which is going to actually... They didn't have a Clam, so Pity comes out. So a little bit of a bailout potentially for Chip and Dip. And the time is ticking. The talk is going down. They're jumping in the power clam, and all of a sudden the clip is being hit for the decap. Are they able to find it? No. Do they miss the throw? They do. It's a wipeout. And Phantom Sharks.
That is
my God.
absolutely incredible. That reaction time that Phantom Sharks were able to show in those few moments of overtime are absolutely incredible. One wrong move and they could have completely lost that game. Very, very good from Phantom Sharks, and another very, very close game from Phantom Sharks and Chip and Dip, which is quite interesting. We're seeing Phantom Sharks really be able to take their revenge, as during Swiss, Chip and Dip were the only team to actually beat Phantom Sharks, and now they're facing again in the finals.
Yeah, no, certainly. Maybe a little bit angry after that Swiss game. Maybe didn't think that the game went quite the way they thought it would, and now all of a sudden the triple buckets are imposing their will on Chip and Dip. As we move on to what my old team was named after, Ink Control, we have Inkblot Academy on Tower Control.
Inkblot Tower Control. It's definitely one of the map modes I'm not that familiar with Charger, as for some reason I always tend to go Hydra on Inkblot TC. It's a very interesting map and mode. I'm very intrigued to see how Chip and Dip will be able to come back from this.
Yeah, well, I used to actually be a Hydra one trick back in the day until I saw the light and switched to Tent. But biases aside, Hydra is a very good weapon on this map, and I'm just curious to see. I mean, if you're Chip and Dip here, I mean, what's going through your head here? Like, you're down 0-2 to a team that you 3-0'd earlier in the day. What are you thinking? What do you think the other team is thinking here, Chip and Dip?
As we have suddenly been reported by the voices that are collectively in both of our heads, Chip and Dip are indeed making a sub, which should be a very interesting thing to see. Will this sub be able to change the tides and allow them to get their first win? This will be very interesting to see.
Yeah, it is. It's Synapsis for Fab. I think Synapsis, if memory serves correctly, was the Bamboo player.
Yes.
If I remember correctly. Yes, the voices in my head have confirmed it. I have remembered something from once. The Bamboo is out, and curious to see what they do. I believe if you know, we've seen this game, I think Chip wants to be more aggressive. I'm assuming they'll go for a more aggressive pick, if I'd assume. Maybe.
If we look, we see Fab as more of a midline player with a roster that can also work with a little bit of chip damage with those blasters in their roster. Anything can really happen here.
Exactly. Yeah, anything can happen. Tournament on the line. Fab is known for playing Wiper, V-Rapid, D-Rapid, V-Shot, and V-Pro. So a lot of different weapons there, a lot of different roles those weapons can fill, and Tower Control on Inkblot Academy is going to start very shortly. V Range Blaster, I apologize for the misread there.
Ooh, we see a swap from V Bucket to just vanilla dualies, now allowing them rather to have those strikes, but that grab instead. And then on the side of Chip and Dip, we see the Frozen Pro come out. Crabs on both sides, which should be very interesting to watch.
Yeah, unfortunately, the polycule of buckets has turned into more of a couple, and that is not really working out too well for them. Maybe should have stuck with the polycule as Chip gets onto the first checkpoint and is trying to impose their will with that jet that we've talked so much about throughout this set. Is able to assist one kill, but unfortunately will be camped by the Tri-Slosher, who gets two. Is not going to be enough. They're gonna get past check, and they're gonna start the second checkpoint now.
It is very interesting how they're not trying to use bats as a route. They are going straight towards the tower. It seems these teams have very different goals in mind. Primarily just going straight for the objective rather than focusing on flanks this game.
I guess Chip and Dip maybe realized they were not as objective focused in the first two games. It might have cost them. Potentially also why the sub came into play, but we're seeing a fight on the right side. The decaf able to get one, is not able to get two, but gets traded out, and the Jet once again back, scaring off the Phantom Sharks, able to get one on the assist. Maybe the second, not quite enough, but look at all of that space that Jet has created.
Now we see the missiles coming out and a crab coming out on the side of Phantom Sharks, trying to keep up the defense, but is destroyed. We see one member down on each side, and we see most of them clumped up together on that right side. Anything can happen. It's still anyone's game. We see Chip and Dip, the dualies, getting two, and essentially a wipe on the side of Chip and Dip, being able to completely lock Phantom Sharks out. Now finally being able to take that bats, as we see with the decav. A bubble being set up as well. They are pushing and pushing forward, making sure that Chip and Dip, making sure that Phantom Sharks is unable to take this tower is quite remarkable.
Exactly. They're not able to do much right now, Phantom Sharks. It's a complete turnaround from the first two games we saw, and the Dread gets another kill. Excuse me, not the Dread Rigger, but the decav goes down, unfortunately, on tower, and right now Phantom Sharks trying to find some space early on, pressuring that plat, not able to get it, and unfortunately dies for it, goes down one early, and all of a sudden, they're down a man. Are they gonna find one? They're gonna have to jump back, and all of a sudden, Chip has the space in mid. They're in the driver's seat. The duel on ramp goes in the favor of the Dapple dualies, and all of a sudden, this is looking very open. The decav able to find one. Are they gonna find the second? Oh, they're dancing around. The Booyah Bomb is going to save them, I think. They are able to trade out for the Jet. Wow, what a back and forth affair.
And three members go down on the side of Chip and Dip, which allow Phantom Sharks to finally be able to begin making their push. But with Chip and Dip being able to get down to 20 ticks in essentially what was their first push, Phantom Sharks have a lot to get through. And now three members down on their side, and with only the Explo up, is it possible for them to take this comeback? Maybe.
We'll let this be a lesson. You can't break up the polycule quite this easily, as they have been struggling to retake back onto the tower, but all of a sudden Chip is trying to find more points, but they aren't able to find them. Tower goes down quickly. The sharking dualies is very terrifying in my mind, and there they go. They activate right as the sword goes down. Great execution on the retake. And just like that, there's a flank, actually. The decav, the Clip Minister himself, Star Minion. Oh, unable to find the jump, gets juked out by the roll. And just like that, unfortunate, but Chip and Dip is not going to be able to keep the push going. And yeah, they're going to go back to fight back. They're going to have to refight mid, I think.
This is... Ooh! And now we get to move into a wipeout on the side of Chip and Dip, which allow Phantom Sharks to potentially set up once again. But with only a little bit more than 30 seconds on the clock, they do not have a lot of time to be able to make a push and sort something out. They will have to make sure that Chip and Dip do not pick them, and they need to try and keep up this momentum to keep them out.
Exactly, but they get past the first checkpoint, so the momentum's already in their favor. They're also up 1. They're up 2 now. The decaf down, and the crab is imposing, but the Tenda missiles do come out. The instant pressure from that might throw them off, and it does. And they get the tower. They get it, and all of a sudden, what once was looking like a 3-0 victory is going in favor of Chip. But they might have one more thing to say. Phantom Sharks do not, and Chip and Dip, they make it 2-1. We are not seeing a sweep in grand finals. They don't feel like this set's over, and I don't feel like it is either.
It definitely does not feel like it's over. I feel like both teams still have quite a lot in store. I feel like Phantom Sharks are gonna need to start adapting to their different styles. As you can see, a lot of them definitely do have a lot more weapons on our roster, but we've been seeing them be really consistent with this triple bucket. And now when they start to change out their roster, it really has led to some problems. As you said, the bucket queue cannot be stopped.
Yeah, they can't be stopped, but it can be stopped, I should say. If they're breaking it up like they have in these last couple games. But we go on to Humpback Rain, a map that I've seen some success on every now and then, but is a very, very interesting map. Curious what are your thoughts on this map and how it's going to play out in this set?
Humpback Rainmaker, it's again one of those games where you have to try and get that good push and then stall it. That's the whole main prospect of Humpback. A lot of the time, you can't see a lot of retakes occur, so it's really crucial that you're able to get the superior push.
It is crucial. It is a big thing that you have to get the superior push. A little anecdotal here. I played a D5 team once in Low Inc, and we got one game off of them because they forgot about the Rainmaker on their own plat, and I stuck it behind them for a KO. So eyes on the objective for both teams, hopefully, but you never know. You never know, as I said.
Oh, absolutely. I feel like Chip and Dip have really exceeded some expectations. As we have seen Phantom Sharks be able to wipe quite a few teams, and now going into Rainmaker Humpback, we start to see this almost battle and tension between both Phantom Sharks and Chip and Dip. As we see Chip and Dip maintain their composition alongside Phantom Sharks, only making that brief swap from vanilla Splat Dualies to Emperors, now having that splashdown. It'll be very interesting to see how these games go.
Exactly. It's a very interesting change. To splashdown will be a big difference as Phantom Sharks go down early, and just like that made a complete turnaround from games 1 and 2. Chip and Dip immediately getting that first checkpoint, and they want more. The decaf is going to fall back and try to heal a little bit before they retake here. Able to get 2 all of a sudden. That's a double kill. That's a wipe. Oh my god. If it wasn't for the Rainmaker dying, we would have been saying sayonara to this game, but it's going to keep going. And they try to push up for some extra points. Able to get it to 33, and that's going to be the push.
That is absolutely incredible. Especially with how that ballpoint was able to take it from that check to 33 points, and it has only been a minute. This has already been quite action-packed.
Yeah, action-packed it is. Action-packed indeed. The Rainmaker resets, and we have a completely neutral game apart from the lead for Chip and Dip.
Indeed. This is incredible. It will be quite interesting to see how Phantom Sharks are able to come back from this. And we see 3 already down on the side of Chip and Dip. Will Phantom Sharks be able to take that check? I believe so.
Haymaker for Haymaker, we see here. They keep going. It's been wipe after wipe, but oh my god, just like as I've said, the Phantom Sharks go down 3, unable to extend like Chip and Dip was, and now Chip and Dip imposing their will on mid. They're trying to find kills. The Clip Minister himself trying to find a way in. Gets 1. Is he going to find more? Let's find out. He goes into plant, finds 1, finds another one. The jump in ill time. That's going to be another kill. And all of a sudden, he's going to keep popping off. He's got 2 in front of him. Is he going to find 1? They are going to find 1. Will they find another one? They will not. It's 7 points for Chip and Dip. What a play from that decav.
Absolutely incredible. This decaf was able to divert their attention away from the Rainmaker, which allowed them to get to that 7 points. The decaf is making themselves quite obvious that they're essentially saying, hey, you should fear me. I'm the one you should be going after. And they're diverting the enemy's attention, which allows them to just keep getting in, especially with that new wipe. And it seems they're now
Oh my.
taking it on the right side.
Yeah, the right side is positioned for it. It's positioned for the right side. It's a little harder to do that, though, especially with the 2 buckets that they have. They don't have the advantage that they quite had, and smartly moving it to the right side, but I think they're going to get picked off by the other decav. Unfortunately, lives a little bit longer than they thought they would have probably, and that's going to be a reset in the game. Curious how this game is going to progress.
Absolutely. As the time ticks down, there will definitely be a lot more pressure put on Phantom Sharks than we have seen before. They really desperately need to try and get some picks and get a wipe. Just as lucky as Chip and Dip got in the very beginning. As we see 2, maybe 3 go down, this could definitely lead to 50 points. But we see the Clip Minister, as you said, take down the Rainmaker, but immediately get picked off. The alleyway is in sight. All Phantom Sharks need to do is get some paint. But one goes down. They are all surrounding the Rainmaker, but we see the Clip Minister himself try and get behind them.
He keeps going for it. He loves the attention. He loves the blue sky clips. And I think he's going to get more. No, he gets taken down on the flank, but it's too little, too late. Perhaps a little bit too focused on the flank. And just like that, Phantom Sharks have to retake mid and try to find a way to get Rainmaker again.
These inkjets have been absolutely incredible from the ball point. I feel like that should be pointed out. Almost every single time they've been able to get some value, which is really crucial. You have that backline with a backline-esque special being able to continuously get those picks and be able to support that team. It is quite a sight to see.
Yeah, well, the Pro trying to make something happen here. Gets another one up in mid. Double kill. He says it's not just the decav. It's me too. We got to look at the other players here, but smartly backs off. And just like that, sharking again. He's everywhere on the map, I swear. It's this decav player. Is he going to find some more? He's waiting for someone to pick up. I don't know if they will, though. Let's see. They're slowly moving around it. The Phantom Sharks trying to find a way to pick it up safely. No, they won't pick it up. And all of a sudden, I think that's going to be it. No, they get the pop. Are they going to be able to pick it up? They will. But the ball point's there. And Chip and Dip, what we thought that they were done after 2 maps, they take the next 2 and say, let's go to game 5.
This is absolutely incredible. We originally saw Phantom Sharks in the first part of this set immediately start to take these games, and then straight away we see immediately after Chip and Dip I've been like, no, we should have our chances to take this win, that we should be the valedictorians. Tensions are high as we now move on to game 5 of Splat Zone's Barnacle and Dime.
Exactly. It has been back and forth. And, you know, we get 2 maps for Phantom Sharks. We think that they're going to do it, but the Polycule breaks up and they let up 2. So, curious to see if the Polycule comes back. Are they going to stay with the Yuri duo? Maybe not a Yuri duo. We don't know for sure, but assuming one of them is Yuri. One of them names is Yuri. But we get into Zone's Particle and Dive next. And, what do you...
I'd love to see the Yuri Polycule making their comeback. I feel like Dread is quite crucial for these types of zones games. You normally see Dread with those reefs like immediately coming in and being able to take those zones, and we have seen Reef Cheese especially be viable on Barnacle Splat zones. Anything can happen. Who knows? Tensions are high. Anything can happen.
And as we go into our 5th game, really quickly want to shout out the production staff while we have some time. Alta, Rada as the producer and stream liaison, Jelly124, Strawberry, OBS, and Moj as the mods on both YouTube and Twitch. Thank you so much for making this all happen. I'm making it so both of us can sit here and commentate and...
I I definitely feel like the production
Oh,
team.
and R Kitty, and R Kitty. Sorry, Ari Kitty. I'm sorry, Ari. I'm sorry. The voices in my head reminded me of Ari. I'm so sorry. Glanced over the name, but we are going into the decider, the game 5. Wow. Let's see. I'm excited. I'm sure you are excited too, Parasite. Let's see what the picks are from both sides.
Let's see. Oh, the polycule is back!
They are back! Oh, the fan favorite Polycule is back in action. And much of the same from the other side, just switching out kits, I believe, for the dualies there. What do you make of these schemes?
I think I'm really excited to have the polycule back. We have seen some major successes with this in the past, and even now, and almost immediately, Chip and Dip have been able to take this zone despite the polycule comeback. Could this be the turnover for the polycule?
Well, we'll see. The Polycule is making some quick work, though, taking back their own plat immediately after they took it. They're responding. A little bit of trouble with the Zipcaster, but is able to get into zone. Is this going to be a cap? No. They're on plat. They're waiting. They're patient. They're trying to bide their time, waiting for one to come in. And just like that, one does come in. Are they able to find the kill? They are. 2 down, 3 down. Oh, no. It's a wipe for the Phantom Sharks. Chip and Dip in the driver's seat right now.
Chip and Dip have been able to take this down 60 points already. If Phantom Sharks aren't able to get that push, there is a chance that Chip and Dip will just solo wipe. This is incredible.
Well, we want more of a back and forth affair, so let's see if the Phantom Sharks and the Polycule can come back. 15 on the clock, trying to make something happen. Is the Stamper. The strikes go down. Is this going to be a cap of the zone? It is! We'll have more Splatoon to watch. And all of a sudden, the Inkjet that we talked so much about canceled by the Sword. He's had enough of seeing the clip minister getting clips. He's going to hit his own clips now.
And we see a Reap Slider coming in, not quite guessing that cap, but being able to really turn the tides as we see one member go down on each side. And Chip and Dip are able to retake that zone, now going through their penalty. Anything can happen.
Yeah, that penalty gives Phantom Sharks a lot of time to work with, and they're dealing with the pressure well, but 2 go down for Phantom Sharks, and all of a sudden, what once was looking like a promising retake has gone down to their last member. It's a delayed wipe on the side of the Phantom Sharks, and they have to come back quickly and respond to it. Are they going to be able to?
We can't fret, as once again, Phantom Sharks have those strikes, but rather than using them on the zone, they are using them to retake these spaces, and they are able to regain their platform. Hopefully this will allow them to retake the zone, as we see 2 members go down on the side of Chip and Dip. However, 2 members also go down on the side of Phantom Sharks alongside this, and they are still fighting for that zone. The penalty is nearly over, and we go into the last ticks of the game. Will they be able to flip it in time? No, they will not.
The reverse 3-2 for Phantom Sharks, but if you're Chip and Dip, it's jubilation and congratulations. Chip and Dip going down 0-2 at the start of the set, and then going back 3-2 in quite a dominant fashion, if I might add, able to take the set and be the valedictorians of this season. What a great set. What a great set.
This is absolutely incredible. They've gone from beating Phantom Sharks to being in that really high tension position, and that is absolutely incredible. The tension between these two teams has been absolutely amazing, and we have seen some amazing skill throughout this entire tournament. Again, there has to be a massive thank you to the production team of this tournament for being able to make it all happen, including the mods on Twitch as well, and the commentators prior. Nothing could have been done without the production team that have been able to bring this tournament together. Alongside this, a massive shout out to the coaches and team managers who have been able to bring these teams together and make such an amazing tournament happen.
Exactly. Couldn't have done it without all of them, but to say some other words about the set, Chip and Dip, I will say one thing that really makes or breaks teams, and as a coach who's been a coach for a while, I've coached like 3 or 4 teams at this point. I've coached at a higher level. I've coached at the low levels. The big thing is if you're able to be in these really dire situations, 0-2 down, and be able to come back, that's a healthy side of a team. That's a team that doesn't give up. And that's a team that will do great things in the future. And for the Polycule of buckets, I mean, a great tournament played all around. I mean, the big thing is the mental there. You know, you lose 0-3 at the start of the tournament to these guys, and you're able to take 2 maps off of them. Big ups. It's hard to stay up in your mental, stay focused, and yeah, oh my god, what a set!
Absolutely incredible. This tournament has been an absolute delight to watch over. But I believe that is all from us that you'll be hearing today.
I believe so. I think some final words would be, for me, it's just, again, if you're at home and you're playing, you know, join the SB. I know I joked about me joining. It's not people like me joining who have been playing this game for far too much of their lives, but it's people who are very new to the game. And look at this, all this improvement. I mean, I'll say one thing. I've coached a lot of teams, like I've said, and the improvement these people show and the short amount of time that SBA gets that improvement out of them is absolutely ludicrous. So please, don't be afraid to join. Don't be afraid to throw your hat in the ring, because anyone can do it. Anyone can do it. And let me tell you, the amount of support you get from these guys, you're not getting it from a lot of other people. So
Absolutely.
SBA, big ups to them. Big ups to the Academy. You should join for the next season. The registration is already out on the SBA socials, so be sure to look out for that.
Absolutely. I personally myself joined during season 1, and it was an absolutely incredible experience. It was really beginner friendly. It helped you get into comp, and it has a really steady timeline which helps you get into the scene, and they help you with tournaments, scrims, and they prepare you for the showcase and for you to leave as a fully established team. It is absolutely incredible.
Exactly. It is incredible. It is insane. You should join it. And if you're not in SBA and if you're new to comp, I have some words for you as well. Just keep going. Keep trying to find a way, man. Trust me, it takes a while for a lot of people, and it's a long road. So hiccups here and there, don't worry about it, man. Just keep going, keep grinding. Eventually, you'll make it up to the top, and then when you're at the top, you're going to wish you're going to be at the bottom, because honestly, it's more fun down here than it is up at the top. I'm not going to lie. It's a lot more fun down here. I'll tell you from experience. So enjoy the grind all the way down here, man. It's fun. It's exciting. You meet a bunch of people. Yeah, just play Splatoon. Play Splatoon. Yeah. It's a fun game.
Now then, before we leave, do you have any socials you'd like to plug to the viewers?
Oh, I think a lot of people know, but for reminding, I am on Blue Sky. I live here, Yoshi, on Blue Sky. I notoriously do a lot of trolling. I also do some. I also turn on my brain every now and then. I release some coaching guides that you can watch on my YouTube at Yoshi God. And yeah, no, where can the people find you, Parasite?
You can find me at Parasite on Blue Sky, where I primarily post clips and sometimes some other stuff to do with the competitive Splatoon community. However, I'm also starting to post on YouTube, I believe, under the same name, and I have some very fun stuff planned for that, so I'd say watch out for that.
I will watch out for that. I will follow you as well, because I don't think this is the first time we've met, so I will go ahead and give a follow, as the people at home should follow Parasite. But I think that's gonna wrap it up for us at Stronghold Productions. Thank you so much for watching and tuning in to this season of SBA Academy Finals, our showcase, I should say. I guess have a good night, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you are around the world, and we'll see you next season.
Yeah, thank you for watching.